Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good morning to all my beloved students. So today we will continue our next chapter, chapter 2, regulations of securities industry. So for learning outcomes at the end of this chapter, students should be able to identify the regulations in the securities industry in Malaysia, and then to learn the roles of regulatory bodies in securities market. So for this chapter, we will divide into two parts. Alright, so part A, this is about the overview of the acts and regulations pertaining to the securities industry in Malaysia. For this part, we will go into the basic acts and regulations, such as the Banking and Financial Institutions Act 1989 or BAFIA. And then we will go into the Capital Market and Services Act 2007 or CMSA. And then we will go into the Securities Industry Central Depositories Act 1999, which is Sigda. And then Securities Commission Act 1993. And we have Companies Act 1965 and other related acts and regulation. Alright, so we go into the part B. This is purposely about the regulatory bodies in Malaysia. We have Bank Negara Malaysia, Securities Commission, Bursa Malaysia Berhad, Companies Commission of Malaysia, and other related regulatory bodies such as Foreign Investment Committee and also Bursa Malaysia Depositories Sendirian Berhad. Now we go to the part A. The overview of the acts and regulations pertaining the securities industry in Malaysia. So we will get to know the purpose of the regulatory framework that exists in Malaysia. The purpose is to govern the Bursa Malaysia and the Malaysian securities industry in order to maintain the investors' confidence in the market. Because this securities market, this financial market, is about dealing with the money, with the capital, the transaction, a huge amount of transactions. So we need the investors' confidence, to do the transaction, to get involved in this capital flow. Alright, so to maintain investors' confidence in the market, right? So which promotes fair and open price formations. And then to provide for investor protection. Of course, we need the protection in the case of maybe some offenses that may occur during the what we call investment period, all right? And to ensure prompt and reliable information disclosure and dissemination. So these are the acts and regulation that we will overview. The first one is BAFIA and CMSA, Sigda, Securities Commission, Companies Act, Securities Industries Act, and also the Anti-Money Laundering and Antiterrorism Financing Act 2001, or we call it as AMLF. So banking and financial institution, 1989, or we call it as BAFIA, was established on October 1st, 1989, to replace the Banking Act 1973 and the Finance Companies Act 1969. So this comes from the replacement of the two acts previously, right? However, the Islamic Banking Act 1983 is not affected and remain unchanged until today. Alright, so what are the objectives of BAFIA? Okay, first is to provide new laws for the licensing and regulation of the institutions carrying on banking, finance company, merchant banking, discount houses, and also money broking businesses. Okay. Number 2, guidance for the regulation of institutions carrying on certain other financial businesses. All right. And number 3, to provide the central bank with the power to speedily investigate and prosecute. Means that if there is certain offences occurred, so meaning to say that the central bank, which is the Bank Negara Malaysia, has the power to investigate what is going on and also to suspend certain transaction, okay, if necessary, okay, any illegal activities, okay, in an attempt to the what we call the white collar crime. What is white collar crime? Okay, in bahasa we call it as jenayah kola putih or rasuah. Okay, so number 4 is to provide for an integrated supervision of the Malaysian financial system. Alright, next, okay, we go to the CMSA. Okay, CMSA is another regulation in order to maintain investors' confidence and was established on September 28, 2007. So, the purpose of CMSA is to introduce a single licensing regime for capital market intermediaries. Okay, so licensing ensures an adequate level of investor protection. Okay, meaning to say that for example, if you want to be a dealer or remiser, right? So you need to sit for the examination in order to get the license. All right. You want to be a dealer in stock market. You want to be the dealer in futures contract, or you want to be the agent. The agent of the insurance companies, or maybe you want to be a consultant for unit trust products. So all of these, what we call the intermediaries between the client and also the product itself, you must have the license. So license is governed by the CMSA. Okay. So including the provision of sufficient safeguards to protect investors from default by market intermediaries or problems that arise from the insolvency of such intermediaries. Insolvency of those intermediaries, or we call the third party, third party that connect with the investors and also with the products or funds that will be traded. Okay. All right. These are the regulated activities under CMSA. The first one, we have trading in futures contract. All right. Number 2 is fund management. All right. Number 3 is advising on corporate finance. This is for in the case of liquidation, or maybe the restructuring of the company. All right. Number 4 is investment advice. You want to get consultation, some consultation from the expert. And number 5 is financial planning. All right. Now we go to Sigda. Right? Sigda, okay. Actually, this is Sigda. Is the act which governs and provides for the regulation of a central depository in respect of the deposit holding, withdrawal, and dealing in securities and related matters. Okay. This is purposely for the any transaction that involve the money, the capital. For example, if you want to invest in stock, you must open CDS account, right? So the process of before you want to deposit your money, and later the deposit will go into the fund flow, and also later at the end maybe you want to withdraw your deposit. So these are governed by Sigda. Okay. Okay, now we go to the Securities Commission Act 1993. Okay, for your information, our Securities Commission or Suruhanjaya Security, all right? was established in 1993. Okay, so before the government looked at we call Securities Commission as like a police, okay, police for our financial market. Okay, means that Securities Commission has the very powerful control over the financial market. Maybe there is money laundering occurs, maybe, so Securities Commission has the power to suspend has the power to appoint Bank Negara Malaysia to suspend those accounts bank, for example, right? So in order to come up with this Securities Commission, all right, so Malaysia or Parliament approved this Securities Commission Act. So this is an act that established the Securities Commission, which is the body that regulates the securities industry as a whole. Alright, so it sets out the powers and functions of the SC and contains provisions for takeover and mergers. Alright, but the main purpose is the SC will investigate and enforcement responsibilities for any transaction in the financial market as a whole. Okay, now we go to the Companies Act 1965. All right, so this is the principal act for the regulation of the companies in Malaysia. As we know that every company, either this is the small company or big company or giant company, okay, so every company must register their business, okay, with Companies Commission Malaysia ataupun Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia. This is under Companies Act 1965. Okay, so this act regulates the pre-incorporation, the starting point to register your business, all right, and the operations of your business, and also the duties of the companies and its director. The duties in terms of recording the financial statement and so on, and then reporting to the commission, and then disclose information and so on, which means that you follow all the requirements, all the guidelines from the CCM. Okay, so these are under Companies Act, right? So the CCM, okay, previously known as the Registrar of Companies or ROC, right, is the body responsible for the registration and regulations of companies. Okay. Okay, now we go to the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act 2001, or we call it as AMLF. Okay, so before that, okay, let us get to know what is money laundering. Okay, so money laundering is a process by which proceeds derived from criminal or illegal activities are converted to legitimate funds. Okay, saying that, for example, okay, you own a very clean business, but later maybe someone, okay, who has dirty money, dirty sources, so they want to park or their funds into your company, okay, because they want to clean their money. Okay, so this is what we call money laundering. Right, so the AMLF 2001 was gazetted on 5th July 2001. Okay, so due to the very what we call cases, so many cases, okay, on money laundering with various types of strategies or activities created by them, so therefore Malaysia has come out and also gazette the Anti-Money Laundering and Anti-Terrorism Financing Act. Okay, so it is approved by the Parliament, and Malaysia. This AMLF, okay, provides comprehensive new laws regarding for these activities in terms of the prevention, detection, and also prosecution. Prosecution of money laundering. Okay, so this is purposely to protect the what we call the capital provider, which is us, or maybe the companies, all right, and also to detection, and also to what we call to investigate, okay, the where are the sources, where are the money sources comes from, and to eliminate, all right, to eliminate all these money laundering activities, all right. And then the forfeiture of property derived from or involvement in money laundering, okay, and the requirements for record keeping and also reporting of the suspicious transactions for reporting institutions. Okay, so these are some of the functions of AMLAFA. I'm sorry, 2001. All right. So suspicious transaction reporting, record keeping, the function of financial intelligence unit that could operate with government. Okay, so you can read all these notes. So this act, okay, has been governed, has been approved to be one of the regulations or acts that will control, that will protect, okay, those investors, and also as well to the companies, as well to the activities. Okay. Okay, now we go to the Securities Industry Act 1983. It is an act which governs and provides the regulatory framework of the securities industry. So it covers the provisions of the stock exchange, clearing houses, central depositories, stockbroking houses, market intermediaries, and persons in dealing in securities. Okay. So you may refer to this section 9. Section 9, okay, the purpose purposely stated about the duties of stock exchange. Okay, number one is to approve stock exchange, to give recognition, to approve amendments of the rules, and also to issue license to the dealers, fund managers, and also to provisions against false market and market rigging. So this one you may we will cover in chapter 8 later. Okay, time for a break. All right, so you may have your break, okay, but I will continue with part B. Okay, part B, regulatory bodies in Malaysia. Okay, so we have for this syllabus we will cover only certain regulatory bodies in Malaysia, but in reality we have many regulatory bodies in Malaysia with their special purposes, special roles in governing, okay, certain issues, right? Okay, now we go to the Bank Negara Malaysia. All right, this is our central bank. Remember, this is our central banks. All right, and then we have Securities Commission, as I mentioned before. This is our police for financial market. And then we have Bursa Malaysia Berhad. All right, so this is our stock exchange. All right, and we have Companies Commission of Malaysia, which is the registrar of the companies. Okay, and we have Bursa Malaysia Depository Sigda Berhad. Okay, this is for the purpose of deposit your money, withdrawal, and so on. Okay, we also have Foreign Exchange Committee, but later you may do your own revision for this FIC, right? Okay, so we go to the Bank Negara Malaysia. Okay, established on January 26, 1959 as the Bank Negara Malaya. Okay, why? Because at that time our country is known as Tanah Melayu, right? Alright. So the main purpose was to issue currency. Okay, that is the main purpose. Issue our currency, and then act as banker and advisor to the government of Malaysia. Okay, and regulate the country's credit situation. Okay, So the bank is active in developing financial inclusion policy and is a member of the Alliance for Financial Inclusion. So this Bank Negara, what we call, is the heart of our financial institution. Okay. Alright, now we go to continue about Bank Negara Malaysia. Alright, regulates the activities of financial institutions through the BAFIA, okay, which was enacted to provide laws for the licensing and regulation of institutions carrying on banking, financing, and investment banking activities. Okay. Okay, so now we go to the Securities Commission, or SC, or also known as Suruhanjaya Security. Alright, so SC was set on March 1st, 1993. Okay, from Securities Commission Act. Okay, so SC is a central authority in the regulation and development of the securities and futures industry in Malaysia. Central authority, right? It's like police of our financial institution, financial market. It has direct responsibility in supervising and monitoring the activities of market institutions and regulating all persons licensed under the CMSA. Okay, so they will monitor all the activities, okay, in terms of the dealers, in terms of the brokers. All right, so this is under Securities Commission. Okay, now we go to the main roles of SC. Okay, the roles of SC first is to act as a single regulatory body as to promote the development of capital markets, and then to take responsibility for streamlining the regulations of the securities market, and also for speeding up the processing and approval of corporate transactions. Okay, and to promote and maintain fair, efficient, secure, and transparent securities and futures market, and also to facilitate the orderly development of an innovative in the capital market in Malaysia. Okay. Okay, now we go to the Bursa Malaysia Berhad. Okay, so Bursa Malaysia, okay, previously known as KLSE. Okay, this is our Malaysia's capital markets, Malaysia's stock exchange, okay, operating and regulating the country's sole stock exchange. So Bursa Malaysia here offers the complete range of exchange related facilities. Bursa Malaysia offers us the facility, okay, facility of what? Facility of the terminal, where we can easily take out our handphone, and then you may buy and sell through your handphone, your laptop. Okay, but okay, the link between you to buy the stock is connected by Bursa Malaysia through their terminal. Okay, so the facilities from trading to clearing to settlements to depository, that is the process of buy and sell transaction. Okay, so we will go further later lah. Alright, so the facilities cover a wide range of products, including equities, derivatives. It just not depends on what we call the stock markets only, but also the other products such as derivatives. For example, we have futures and options, okay, and also we have bonds, okay, we have the offshore listings, and also Islamic products. So Bursa Malaysia connect between the investors and also, okay, and also the product itself. Okay, so Bursa Malaysia, there are over 900 plus companies and products listed on Bursa Malaysia's main board and its market. We have two boards. First is main board and also ACE market. ACE market. All right. So Bursa Malaysia also the world leader. Okay, the world leader of Islamic capital markets. Okay, which is the products and services and also home to Malaysia's largest crude palm oil futures contracts. Okay. So this exchange is also a world-class infrastructure, okay, that makes them easily accessible from investors across countries, 60 nations. So we could say that our technology, our revolution of the technology itself is at par within the other countries. Okay. Alright, now we go to the Companies Commission of Malaysia or CCM ataupun Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia SSM. Okay, is a statutory body formed under an Act of Parliament which regulates companies and businesses affairs in Malaysia. So this is under Companies Act 1965. Okay, remember it was formed in 2002 under the Companies Commission Malaysia, assuming the functions of the registrar and registrar of business. So previously, okay, the previous name of CCM is ROC, Registrar of Business, of ROC, Registrar of Companies, and also ROB, Registrar of Business. Okay, so after certain what we call changes, amendment, and so on, so they come up with the Companies Commission of Malaysia Act 2001 in order to form this CCM, okay, officially. Okay, so the main activities of CCM to serve as an agency to incorporate companies and register businesses, as well as to provide company and business of information to the public, and then allow information and companies and businesses obtainable via its website, okay, through SSM e-info services. Currently, okay, we can register our companies through the system, okay, and renew and so on. Okay, so it is just an easy services to the customers, so that we don't need to long queue and to just for the renewal activities and so on. Okay, and then handles monitoring and enforcement activities that may comply with the guidelines and also the regulations. Okay. Right, so what are the acts and regulations under SSM? Yeah, so we have just now we just cover on Companies Act 1965, right? But we have others acts such as CCM's acts, ROB, Trust, TCA, and also Kutu Funds Prohibition Act. You know Kutu? You know what is prohibition? So you know lah. Okay, the laws, the regulations for the Kutu activities. Okay, Bursa Malaysia Depository Sdn Berhad, okay, formerly known as MCD, Malaysian Central Depository. Okay, this is a subsidiary of Bursa Malaysia, was established on April 14, 1990. So this is to provide an efficient center for clearing and settlement. Okay. Alright. Okay, so the principal activity of BMD is the operation and maintenance of CDS. Okay, we want to monitor the process from the beginning of what we call register, the opening the CS account, and later depositing, and lastly withdrawal. So these are monitored by BMD. Okay, so today under the current CDS, the delivery of shares is now conducted through computerized book entry. So before this, previous is very long time ago, okay, we still do not use the CDS account, but it is by giving you the certificates, the scripts, and so on. So, by introducing the CDS account, okay, and also approved by also the other countries also. So we can what we call avoid. It's not avoid, but reducing the use of the paper in what we call giving the certificates and so on to confirm, okay, the transferable of the shares. Previously we use certificates, later and so on. All right, so it is the words paperless. Okay, so now we have come into the end of chapter 2. So I hope that everyone, okay, could do your revision, okay, and then understand, okay, each of the functions and roles of those acts and regulations, and also to the regulatory bodies. And don't forget to do your what we call the infographic individual assignment. Okay, so thank you and have a nice day. Bye bye.